All right, need a little dose of inspiration this morning? Don't go away. He is known as one of the fastest men in the world without legs. San Diegan Blake Leeper is a Paralympic superstar sprinter, winning silver and bronze at the 2012 Games. Now he is inspiring others by taking part in Project Believe. It's a film series inspiring people to believe in something bigger. I want to welcome Blake Leeper to our show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It is an honor. I'm excited to be here.
It's an honor for us to have you here. This is fantastic. Now, I don't want to waste any time. We're going to get right down into the questions here because I want people to hear your story. Give us your story. You were born with a disability.
Yes, I was born with a congenital birth defect. I was fitted with prosthetics when I was 9 months. So this is something I had to deal with at an early age. You know, you have to understand, the day I was born, doctors rushing me out and put me in the ICU, and had that conversation with my mother and father. Mr. and Mrs. Leeper, I'm sorry, but Blake probably won't walk a day in his life. Mr. Leeper, I know you love sports, but the chances of him playing is very rare, and he's going to be in a wheelchair his whole life. But instead of my parents listening to the doctors, they knew that regardless of my disability, that they taught me that even though you might have a difference, even though you might look different, if you fight and you have the right mindset and the right heart, you can overcome any challenge in life. Impossible is nothing.
Okay, I'm going to start crying here before this interview is over. Okay, you go from that to a full amputation at 4 years old.
Yes, yes.
They fit you with prosthetics.
Yes.
You go from being in a wheelchair for 6 weeks during recovery to standing up straight.
Yes, and to think about it, when I had the amputation at 4 years old and being in a wheelchair for 6 weeks, that's the only time I was in a wheelchair. And after that, I fought. You know, and some people look at me and say, oh, that's terrible that you had been missing your legs since you was a little kid. What are the things you've been through? But I look at it as my strength. I had to make a decision at an early age that failure was not going to be an option. And regardless of what people may think I can do, I'm going to write my own story. I'm going to manifest my own destiny. And that's become my power. I've turned my weakness into my strength. And when you can do that, when you can control something that people think you have no control over, that's when you start living. And that's when you can take control of your life.
So now how do you go from that moment of saying, you know what, I'm going to embrace this, I'm going to wear these prosthetics, I'm going to stand up straight, to being a Paralympic sprinter winning medals at the Paralympics? Yeah,
I mean, it's tough. I can remember times I was laughed at, I was pointed at, I was cut from the baseball team, basketball team, and I would just sit there and just ask, why me? Like, why am I going through this? Everybody else has legs. This isn't fair. Life isn't fair. But as I got older, I realized I was asking the wrong questions. I was asking something I had no control over. Instead of asking, why me, you should ask yourself, well, why not me? I'm meant for this. Or why not me? I'm strong enough for this. Why not me? I can be the fastest man in the world without legs. And once I decided and looked at life that way, my life has completely changed, and I'm living it to the fullest.
Now, here's something really exciting for you. You plan on competing in the regular Olympics in Rio.
Yes, that's the goal. You know, I went to the Paralympic Games. I took a silver and a bronze. I broke a couple world records in 100 meters, 4x1 100-meter relay, and you know, I want to take it to the next level. You know, I love what I'm doing, and I love the Paralympics, and I think by me competing on the Olympic stage and try to be the fastest man in the world, legs or no legs, will be some good notoriety to the Paralympics and show that I'm not the only Paralympian out there working hard. There's so many of us with so many great stories that can show the world what you truly can do with your disability.
This is so amazing. And I want you to come back here and check in with us as you continue the training for that. Let me also ask you about this documentary series. It's CA Believes,
yes.
CABelieves.com. It's not only you, but a few others who were selected out of a whole host of documentaries that were submitted
yes.
to be an inspiration.
Yeah.
It's a 2 to 3 minute documentary. You can watch it online. I'll give you the website again, CABelieves.com. Yours, literally goosebumps, head to toe when I'm watching your story.
It's truly awesome. You know, CABelieves.com and Project Believes is about believing in something bigger than yourself. And then once you realize that, you go out and inspire other people to believe in themselves and to believe in others. And that's been my story from the day I was born, is that I had to believe in myself. You know, everybody thinks and perceives that a man with no legs, you know, when I'm just walking, they're excited, and at the end of the day, I should be doing so much more. And at the end of the day, it started about believing in myself. It's funny to think, you know, at the end of the day, to be born missing one leg, everything healthy is like 1 in a million. To be missing 2 legs is basically impossible. And sometimes when people play the light, I think it's impossible to win, but it's impossible is nothing. And you look at my story that people thought I would never run, walk, jump, and here I am, can say I'm the fastest man in the world. You truly can do anything if you set your mind to it.
I love this.
Yeah.
You have your mind on something else, too, beyond the Olympics. Talk about your goal ultimately down the line is to do what?
Yeah, you know, my goal down the line, you know, at the beginning, before I started running, I was a pre-med at the University of Tennessee, an orthopedic surgeon. I want to be a pediatric orthopedic surgeon to help kids in my similar situation. My career has changed just a little bit,
right.
But at the end of the day, it's pretty cool in the saying that I'm helping individuals, I'm inspiring kids to let them know that go out there and do it, you know, set your own boundaries, step outside the box. It's okay to be different. You know, one of my favorite quotes is from one of my best friends. He said, "You guys laugh at me because I'm different, but I'm cracking up because all you guys are the same." And that's the message I'm trying to send out, that it's okay to step outside the box. It's okay to look unique or different if you just own it and you be true to yourself and you believe in yourself. You can overcome any challenge.
I love this. Blake Leeper, cabelieves.com. You can also follow Blake on his website, blakeleeper.com. I know you're coming back here because I'm going to make sure of it as you prepare for the Olympics in Rio.
Yes.
You are such an inspiration, and I think that if anybody had a child going through what you've been through, to have you as their orthopedic surgeon, pediatric orthopedic surgeon, I mean, that is your destiny, my friend. I love this.
All
right, Blake Leeper, thanks again for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I told you, if you were feeling a little down, he was going to perk you right up, didn't he? All right.